So if you've ever thought the minimalist lifestyle wasn't right for you, I'd encourage you to take a minute and listen to what our next guest has to say. Christine Platt is the author of the Afrominimalist Guide to Living with Less, and she's hoping people will learn there's more to minimalism than just aesthetics.
After trying to mirror a lot of the aesthetics that I saw online, and all of a sudden I had this barren, all white home, and I was like, I hate it, And so I decided to do minimalism my way, which was really infuse, elements of the African diaspora into my home. And so for me, Afro-minimalism is a minimalist life influenced by the African diaspora. There's mud cloth pillows, there's color, there's fabric, there's texture. It's still minimalist, but it is minimalism my way.
It's minimalism without the sterility, it sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds incredibly warm and cozy. And minimalism is more than just an aesthetic, right? It's kind of a way of life. It's a lifestyle choice, right?
Yes, yes. And, it's so funny. I've learned so much over the past 5 years. And I feel like so much of mainstream minimalism focuses on the aesthetics of minimalism, which literally has nothing to do with the practice. Essentially, minimalism is part of the root of that is authenticity and intention. At the time when I was coining Afro-minimalism, I did not know that what I was really doing was operating from a space of authenticity and intention with how I approached minimalism. So much of it focuses on the aesthetics, and it is just so far removed from the practice. The practice is just really being a more mindful and intentional consumer, which is something we all can benefit from, right? Individually and collectively.
100%. It's such a world of buy, 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 buy. And, I feel like in my soul that I'd like to be a minimalist, but it's like wrapped in a really gaudy Italian, like I have gold cherubs, gold cherub lamps, but can I fuse that into a minimalist style?
You can. You absolutely can. Anytime someone is like, I don't think I can be a minimalist, I'm like, you know what? Just remove that word from your vocabulary, right? So start there. Can you be more intentional with what you have in your home, what you purchase, and what you welcome into your life? Everyone's like, sure, I can be more intentional. Sure, I can be a more mindful consumer, right? So just sort of erase this whole idea, because again, once we hear that word minimalism, this aesthetic sparks in our head and we're like, nope, I am not having one fork, one knife, and one spoon. That is not the life for me, right? So, if those, golden angels bring you joy, and they, are something that you need, use, and love in your space, absolutely, that is your version of minimalism, right? If there are 25 of those golden angels, I'd have to just ask them, like, do you need all 25?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the plug on that one. I appreciate you walking me through that. And it's a really nice feeling to feel that, who you are as an authentic person can also be a mindful way. How does your book guide readers in this way?
First thing, it was so important for me to make sure that readers did not jump right into this act of letting go, right? Because I feel like, people pick up the book, they're like, okay, I have my book, I have my donation bag, let's go. And I'm like, actually, let's start with a little bit of the psychology of ownership. What are the root causes of our overconsumption? Why do we have so much more than we need? And then understanding our attachments to things and understanding why it's so hard to let go, right? So guiding readers through that process of self-discovery and then walking them through a 4-step holistic approach. And step 1 is acknowledging that you have more than you need. Acknowledgement looks very different for everyone, right? You're like, I got step 1. And then step 2, I thought was very important, and it's rarely addressed in mainstream minimalism, is that forgiveness. So I remember having all my stuff in a pile and just having all of these emotions, right? There was so much shame, there was guilt, there was anger, frustration, and just saying like, you know what? I got to forgive myself, right? And that forgiveness also extends to anyone in your family, community, in your life who you feel may have contributed to your overconsumption. And then you can let go. Step 3. Step 4 is paying it forward, which is being intentional with what you donate. Who do you send those things to? Who do you gift those things to? Who do you donate those things to that no longer serve you? And paying it forward means looking beyond our usual suspects like Goodwill and the Salvation Army, and looking at individuals, organizations in your community that can directly be impacted, by your donations, right? And then there you go. Then you're done. You're a minimalist.
Gosh, don't you love her?